Here we go. Okay, everybody good? So people, I hope, will be coming in. I don't see a lot of people there. My guess is if they're in Michigan, they're freezing. Anyway, we're gonna start in. We're gonna start warming up. I got my little band. When you're gonna pick up weights, when you're gonna load into shoulders, upper body, you gotta kind of get them ready. These bands or a tea towel can really help warm up the joints, can really help facilitate the progressive load that I'm wanting you to get. And one of the big reasons why, especially in women, right back here, osteoporosis sets in first is because we don't use our upper body enough and we don't put load on it, and we do the forward head bending over, which makes this really, really weak. Oh, it's just, I think I'm on. Have you been able to get on? For everybody starting in with me, we're on recording and I'm on a new device, so I'm trying to make sure everybody's going to be getting in. So far I only have 2 people in, but I'm imagining people can get in. That's all I wanted to know, is if you could get in. Okay, I'm going to continue. Okay, so when you have this here, you step forward. That first move, you may think, well, that's a real simple thing. Why is she doing that? The minute you saw me do that and you did it and you had something in your hand and you did this, you might have thought you did that, but I'll guarantee you this is what you did. See how I bent my knee over my toe? Don't do that. I want to wake these right here up without hurting the knee. I want to wake up the back and the upper back. That's what I'm going to try to do. So I'm hoping that everybody's being able to get into this session. But we're going to keep going. Okay, unless I hear from somebody. Okay, see how I stepped out? This is a big deal. So when I step out, I am going to do this, but I'm going to do it low. I'm warming up my whole spine, my shoulders, all of my joints, my hip, my knee, my foot joints, my ankle. But if you step out and you don't stay back, you're going to strain your knee before it's even able to do anything. This is a very important move on our warm-up, because when you do this move and you're not in the correct lineup, you're going to have problems. Okay? So as you're stepping out and doing this very simple warm-up move, keeping everything low, as you do this and you don't pay attention to this relationship right here with the knee, you don't want to go here. And that's what everybody does if you're not trained to not do that. So the thing of it is I don't see a lot of people coming in, so I'm hoping that I haven't done something wrong. Anyway, we'll just keep going. Take a big breath. So I'm stepping out and pulling in. I'm stepping out and pulling in. I'm stepping out and pulling in. And I just do this repeatedly until I start training myself to not bend and over push the knee over the toe. That is not what you're going to want to do. So see, as I'm stepping out, oh, here they're coming in. I wonder if that's Jessica. Hi, AJ. We're starting our warm up. I was just afraid people weren't getting in. Everybody's already muted and we're already recording. Okay. So I'm going through one basic move and I've broken it down to, you're going to pull if you don't have a band, just use a tea towel, okay? Then you add the stepping out, and as I step out, the thing you don't see me doing is I push my shoulders down, keep my rib cage up. I step out enough so that I can drop the knee in the back, but I don't pull my knee out over my toe, okay? So yes, I'm going over this repeatedly because as you do it, unless you're constantly reminded of it, then you just go back into your normal, not so good posture, okay? See, I didn't say stupid posture. I didn't say lazy posture. I said not so good posture. See, that sounds better, right? Okay, should I say sluggy posture? Yeah, sluggy posture. So see this? This is a good warm-up move. If you do it repeatedly, then we're gonna come out of it and go side to side so that we're really on board here. Do you see how I'm pulling my elbow back? As my elbow goes back, I don't go out over my knee. I go down, bending this back leg. See that? See, I can go both ways. Stay right in here, drop that knee, drop that knee, drop that knee, and I can start turning gently, slowly, my chin over my shoulder. This is a big deal for people who have osteoporosis setting in up here between the shoulders in the thoracic region and have a forward head problem. Because when you're stepping out and you're pulling that elbow back and you're stepping out and you're pulling that elbow back and you're turning, and you notice I said turn. I didn't say tilt the head. Many of you, whenever I do this move, you actually tilt your head. That's not what I want you to do. I want you to actually turn the chin so that it's going over the different shoulders, okay? One and then the other. I don't think you'll have more than two shoulders. I hope not. Hi, Chrissy, we're on. I'm so glad you're in. We're starting our warm up. I was worried people weren't coming on, but then I remembered Michigan's probably frozen to the ground right now. Everybody's muted, so come on in and join a band. Get your chair. We're going to do weights today. I'm doing a very crucial move to warm shoulders, vertebrae upper, vertebrae lower, hips. See, I'm going to turn, and as I turn my chin, I'm going to feel stuff going on, especially if you have, if you're working against a forward head problem, rounded shoulders. I keep doing this, so pretend I'm with you and I'm tapping you so that you're upright and you're not like this, okay? So rib cage up. Hi, everybody coming on. Get yourself a little band. We're hot and heavy right now. I see you. Good, good. Nancy's got her gum going. I'm so glad. That means she's gonna get with it here. So see this, see, we're recording this, okay? So I hope I'm gonna record it. So see this simple step out? Everybody thinks, oh, that's not very, that's not very complicated. No, but when you break it down, it is. Notice, the knee does not go out over the toe. If I want to come down lower, I don't shift like that. I drop the back knee. See that? That's very important. To the ankle, to the knee, to the hip, to the back. Then I go and put this little thing, this little band, and I can do both sides. But every time that I pull, every time I drop my shoulders, I turn my chin, I turn my chin. Do not turn your head fast. If you do, when you're in the split stance, you're going to find yourself struggling for balance. Okay? So yes, this is a balance move as well. So now I'm going to step out, make sure my back foot is what? Straight. If you're struggling for balance on this split stance warm up that we're doing, don't turn your back foot out. You're trying to get balance that way. And it's making you use all of your back, your hip, everything in a way that I don't want you to use it right now. I want you to get that straight on. Open your base. See? Don't, if you want to make this real hard, sure. Go straight over, one foot over the other. But you still do not take your knee in the front out over your toe. You don't. Okay? So you're right here. You're going to bend. You're going to pull. You're going to pull. You're going to breathe in through the nose. You're going to breathe out through the mouth, or in through the nose and out through the nose. But if you do in through the nose, out through the nose, just know you may need to get a Kleenex real quick. Okay, so here we go. Shoulders down. I'm turning my chin. I'm pulling that elbow back. See that? I'm saying rib cage up, shoulders down. If I go lower, I drop the back knee. Okay, once you've done 10 of these, you're ready to push back to neutral, step out, and get ready. Yes, we're on. We are warming up. Just get your little band or your little tea towel and get that split stance going. Pull and pull. We're going to be lifting with free weights. You could be lifting with a bag of beans or rice. It's very easy to get 4 pounds in that kind of thing. If you've got your weights, great. Get your weights going. See how I'm just going back and forth, and I'm taking my chin over my shoulder. I'm taking my chin over my shoulder as I do a gentle pull back with the elbow. Drop your shoulders. This is not a hard pull. This is a warm-up kind of a pull. Then I step back. Now I'm in neutral position. Now I'm going to step out. Then I'm going to step in. Okay? Then I'm going to step out to the other side. Then in. Now let me show you a little thing. A lot of times when people take their leg out here, they move their whole body over. That means you've shifted all the way over, which is a fine move. However, for our purposes this morning, I'm desperately trying to get you to load appreciably. So when I step out here, I am not going to shift into that leg. I'm going to keep my body weight, now that I've done several warm-up moves, right here over the post leg, I call it. So when I take this leg out, so what am I going to do in here? This is very important. I drop my shoulders, I pull my tummy in. When I step out, what am I going to do through here? Correct. I'm going to do a hip hinge. I'm going to stick my butt back, and this is the first really big load that I'm going to put on my back extensors. Because I got my hands right in here, I'm going to step out. I'm going to push the butt back. And if you stay in your post leg on this move, and we're going to be doing this with weights here in just a minute. This is body weight, okay? But I have to tell you, I've had people in class, they think they're doing exactly what I'm telling them, but until I come over and actually manually keep them right here, when I manually point and push the butt back, they don't get it. They do this. and they have weights in their hands and they don't really get the full benefit of this move because I didn't take the time to show them that when you step out, you stay here. That's the post leg. That's the loaded leg. Got it? Okay, I'm going to step out again. And what am I going to do? When I step out, what am I going to do? I'm going to push the butt back. Now, those of you who got it, and you've been doing this while I've been explaining this, you should be feeling quite big contractions up through your back. Yes, come right on in, everybody. I see you. We are just concluding our warm-up, okay? So get warmed up, and I'll go back over some of those moves, but we're going to do them with weights here in just a minute. So what am I doing right now? I'm doing the second big move for my warm-up. I'm staying right here, and I'm taking the leg out. I'm pushing the butt back. That's the hip hinge. But when I do that, I say rib cage up, shoulders down, chin tucked. Got it? By doing that one, being aware of and doing that one move, as you're taking that leg out and you're staying in your post and you're doing a hip hinge and you're doing all those little corrections, rib cage up, all that. Oh my goodness. What an advantage you have for structural integrity, okay? That's a big word. That just means you're doing these moves with good awareness and posture, okay? Corrected posture. All right, so we did our split stance, pull, split stance, pull, see? Then we did our post out, and it's actually a single leg minimal squat is what it is, okay? I'm just letting you take your leg out here, tight tummy, push the butt back, yeah? And your whole weight is here. This is just a kind of a little kickstand, okay? So I pointed out the fact that, so this is going to be very important later on in the class, because if we're holding 20-pound weights, let's say we're holding 10-pound weights, 5 in this hand, 5 in this hand, and I go into this move, and then you do this. I mean, that's an okay move. We'll do it sometimes, center, but you see, I'm loading here whenever I do that. So if I had those 10 pounds or more weight here, man, I better be right up in here, correct? That's the point. Okay, so we've done our slingshot. Now we're going to take our hands just like this, and we are going to go wide, okay? See that? See that? Okay. You have to keep your stomach tight. Now is where we're ramping up. Now is where we're going to go from this kind of a thing to a little more intensity and load through our spine. And if you are somebody with osteoporosis and you know it, you've got to be going at this safety first. So whenever I do this and I'm pulling out and I'm dropping my shoulders, and then I go boom, 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 boom. See, I'm putting more load all the way down. So I need to be thinking about my structure, and I come back up. So it's kind of a little, I don't want to see jump, even though that's kind of what it is. Some of you should not do what you would do is a toe press. See, a toe press gets you to do this more intensely without the jump. Now, there's some of you that were in my class when we did almost 20 minutes of jump rope. Every session, that was the harder, the more intense one. But we're doing a simulation of this. I'm teaching you how to do a proper higher intensity load on your frame without hurting yourself, okay? So I'm pulling, that's number one. My shoulders are down, number two. My tummy is tight. And when I go from a narrow stance to a quick, wide stance, I can do a push-pull, push-pull. I'll switch whichever leg is leading first. But see, for an athlete or somebody that had no problems whatsoever with joints, with osteoporosis and all that, and I wanted to take this into a more of a toughness, it would be a jump. It would be a jump. Okay, I don't encourage a lot of people to do a jump. If you have osteoporosis, if you have joint problems, if you have joint replacements, I know how to jump properly. I can go from here to here, very tight, very good, and put great load. As a matter of fact, Miriam Nelson, who's a primary researcher in exercise, how exercise affects osteoporosis, when she was asked, what should we do exercise-wise I'm just going to do I'm going to continue this. You could do a walk if you wanted to just do a walk and you're not quite sure about the jumpy thing. Anyway, she said you should jump 50 times a day. 50 times a day. Can you believe that? I'm telling you, I don't encourage people doing that until you're trained. Because if you're not trained, you do not want to be jumping. You will break down somewhere. Okay? So see this? This is what you do instead. You press off your toe. And you do it more quickly. See? Press, press, hold, press, press. And then take the other leg out. Press, 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 press. It's a toe press. So when I say toe press, you get a whole different move. You don't get a jump, but you get a lot more intensity coming down your frame. A lot more when you do this kind of a thing. Then if you add this, press, press, keep your shoulders down, press off your toe. Just press off your toe and do a couple with one lead leg, then do a couple with the other lead leg, because you're going to get more press off the lead leg. Tight tummy, shoulders down, press. So it's a toe press, okay? Which leads to greater bone density. That's the point. But if you have multiple joints replaced and you haven't been doing this for a long time, I want you to just step out, and dip. See that? Step out, press, open the hands, and dip, okay? That's the first stage. You're gonna get more bone density by just stepping out, pressing into the feet. Stage 2 is the toe press, the quick toe press. And I'm squeezing. Boom, boom, breath, breath. See, it's just a gentle pull, but my shoulders are down. And then you take one leg out and then the other leg out as the lead toe press, okay? Now you're gonna always go back to your preferred side. So keep mindful that you wanna switch which side you're leading with in your toe pressing. And then you do this minimal hip hinge. See? Then if you're a third level and you really know what you're doing, you don't really have joint issues, etc. Okay? It's just a real slow, low, but if you're going to jump, it's going to be, just by virtue of a jump, it's going to be pretty quick. Okay? But I'm not encouraging people to do that. Who's not ready, who's not sure, they would rather do it with a trainer there or something helping them. So always safety first. So I gave you 3 levels that you can do to help yourself with osteoporosis management and prevention, etc. Okay, so I'm really on this, and want to really get you understanding, it's a progression. So number one, I drop my shoulders, I do a gentle pull, I keep my elbows in. I step out, I do a high squat, okay? Level two, I keep pulling with my upper body, with my shoulders down, and I press off the toes. So I'm doing kind of a little prancy type of a press out. And I switch which leg is going to lead me in this move, okay? Or you're always going to go back to your preferred side. Then number three, for only people who don't have joint problems, who really know what they're doing, you do a tighten in, drop your shoulders, and you just go out and you come in, and you come out and you come in, and you tighten, 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 boom, boom, boom. And if you wanted to do this, and you hold onto a wall, you put your hands on a chair back, and you do it that way, that's fine, but don't do this excessive back flexing. You're still very extended, okay? So always safety first, and I'm telling you, go get yourself a bone test. You do this type of, and you don't have to do it all at once. You could do 20, 20, 20 all through the day. Now, I would love it if I could get you to where you could do 50 of these in good form. Then you go get you a bone test. I will guarantee you your bone density will raise because you're loading and you're doing body loading, yes, but this is what's required for osteoporosis management. This little band is one of your tricks for especially the thoracic pulling. Now we're going to do some real specific moves with that, okay, today. We started with our band. Now I'm going to pick up my weights, okay? So I'm going to start with light weights. So whatever you've got that you think is a light weight. I can tell you for me, a light weight would be a 6. Then when you go into 9s, you're getting into medium for me. So it's up to you, but I have 6-pound weights in both hands. Okie dokie. So I want to continue the load on my vertebrae. So I'm going to stand. Could you do this whole next thing sitting? Of course you could. So I'm going to be my chair. All right. If you need to sit, well, go right ahead and sit. So you're going to come down here like this, and you're going to do some of the same stuff that I'm going to do standing. Okay. So if you do this sitting and then try even 1 or 2 standing, you're going to see the difference in load on your frame. Okay. So I'm going to stand. You can sit if you want to, but I'm going to be my own chair. See that? So now I'm hip hinged. My knees are still almost in line with my ankles. See that? I'm going to start with one side. This is going to come just like this. And I'm telling you, if you have shoulder issues, this is going to wake you up. Okay? You start with one at a time. And so here's the deal. You're seeing me do this, and you're saying, oh, she's taking her hand back a bit. Okay? But if you were here with me, you would see that when I go like this, before I even did that move with my hand, you know what I did with my shoulder blade? I pulled it in. So I pulled the shoulder blade in as I rotate back as far as I feel I can. Okay? I can tell you, this is my trick shoulder right over here. And boy, do I feel this. I start with the shoulder blade moving into the back. Okay? I keep my chin tucked. I pull that back. I'm pushing into my heels. I'm tightening up my tummy. I keep my chin tucked. Many of you are going into this move and you're concentrating, you're doing really good, but you're dropping like that. You're dropping your head out. Pull that chin in so that your ear stays over your shoulder. So before that little hand of yours goes up, ask yourself, oh geez, am I doing what she said she's doing? What am I doing? I'm pulling my shoulder blade in first. That's what facilitates the rotation of my hand. I don't do the rotation of my hand first. And that's what everybody typically does, especially if you have impaired movement in your shoulders, your upper body, okay? Stay into the heels because you are the chair. Shoulder blade goes in. Then you start to get that elbow in and up. Keep your chin tucked. Woo! Breath. And yeah, when I go to a lighter weight, I constantly check my positioning. Push into the heels. Keep your tummy tight. Keep your shoulders down. And when you start to lift the weight, do not start with your hands. And how do you not do that? You be aware of it. Pull the shoulder blade in. Keep the shoulder down, put the shoulder blade in, and then it rotates easily. And then you come back down, okay? Drop your shoulders, always. Pull the shoulder blade in as you rotate. Then bring it down. That is the correct order. Do not throw that hand up and then you think you're doing something with your shoulder. You're not, okay? So you're the chair. Squeeze into the heels. Keep your chin tucked. Rotate with your shoulder pulling first. Shoulder first. Breath, go. And yes, I will try to hit a higher repetition. I didn't say faster. I said a higher repetition as I do lower weights. Okay, keep your chin tucked. Get that shoulder blade going. Take the time. Go into your heels. Pull your tummy in. Drop your shoulders. Rotate that shoulder in and come back. Here we go. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay. In through the nose. Keep your shoulder down. We got a couple more. Stay into the heels. Rotate by pulling the shoulder blade in first. Breath. Couple more. Here we go. Rotate. Stay down into a high hip hinge. Keep your chin tucked. Yeah. Here we go. Just a couple more. Don't go too fast. If you go too fast, you're going to start throwing your hand. Pull the shoulder blade in. Okay, 3 more. Let's take 3 more. Stay into the heels. Breath. Woo. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Yeah, stay with me. This is the last little set here. Okay, and then come down and come up. Nice. Still have light weight, correct? Okay. Some of you have such shoulder issues that you should not even have a light weight and try to come up like with a straight arm ever, okay? So again, I'm going to take a little break, recover my little hip, okay? Because I know some of you are feeling it in your hip, especially if you held that position. So what am I doing? I'm just stepping over and back. That's it. I got my weights in my hand. Don't grip it. Let it go to your fingertips. And when you do this, when you do the step over, pull the shoulder back. See, it just opens things. Do not lock your knees. That would be a mistake. Keep your shoulders down, chin tucked, step over, pull back. Don't lock your knees. Okay? See, I didn't even ask you if your stomach was tight. I knew the answer. I love slugs. Okay, are you ready? Take a big breath. Yes. So this move right here has gotten so many people in trouble because they have not learned how to do it properly. And how do you start learning how to do it properly? You learn how to stand properly. Now, could you do this sitting in a chair? Yeah, and if I had somebody that needed to get off their feet, but they still wanted to stay strong, I would put their little butts in the chair right now, okay? I'm gonna be my chair. You could sit if you want to, if you needed to. Okay, so proper stance. So when I say proper stance, what does that mean? It means I'm feeling the weight in all four corners of my foot. If I'm gonna dip and really go down into a squat, to get back up, I'm gonna push into the heels. But when I'm standing here, I wanna feel all my four corners of my foot, okay? The pressure, okay? That's number one. Soften the knees, number two. Don't bend them, soften them. Squeeze your butt, number three. Drop your shoulders. Now is the crucial thing, okay? I have 6 pounds in both hands, all right? I'm gonna drop my shoulders. I'm feeling the weight in all four corners of my foot. My tummy's tight. My shoulders are down. I'm gonna bend the elbow. See that? Then I rotate. And I do this without injuring the shoulder, all right? Now, many times in therapy, you will do this move again with a band, which is perfectly fine, but it has to be anchored. So this, done with a free weight, is still a good load, and we're being very careful to keep our shoulders down, our tummy's tight. I want to feel my butt tight, and then when I go to rotate the shoulder, I pay attention. If it gives me any kind of issue at any point, and I say I can't go up further than that, then you don't, okay? You drop your shoulders, keep your elbows soft, almost bent, and you rotate, and you use the whole shoulder girdle. You don't straight arm this, okay? Take a breath, shoulders are down. And I can tell you, if you do this properly, you will get some of those weak structures all around the shoulder and in your arm without hurting anything. And you will feel so much better immediately if you do this with the proper sequence, proper postural set. And I see what you don't see me doing. I'll just tell you, like right now, I'm resetting. Every time I come into this position, I reset. What does that mean? Mostly, I go from this to pulling it in, okay? So this is a retraction. My ears are over my shoulders. My tummy's super tight, my shoulders are down. Then I rotate. And see, I do all that without telling you, okay? But I took the time to stop and tell you what I do when you see me in this position. I'm doing all that resetting, okay? Because I don't want to re-hurt or re-injure my shoulder. I want to make it stronger, okay? Without hurting it. And if you do this properly, we're gonna follow this one with a hinge move, which if you have a good functioning shoulder, you should be able to do a hinge move, even with a bit of a weight, okay? Now don't go fast on me, because if you go fast on me, you know what happens? You start throwing this hand way up here. I am not doing that. If you notice, drop down, butt tight, drop your shoulders, tighten in your tummy, say rib cage up. Yeah. So you move this with a whole effort instead of what I normally see is this. I see that kind of a move. Okay, that's a dead giveaway to me that we've got some shoulder dysfunction. Okay, because when I make you get your proper stance and I make you come up with that little bit of a weight, if you have a weak shoulder, it's going to be very difficult for you to do proper stance and you get it to just the shoulder level. Most of the times, you might only be able to go right to here, which is okay, but don't cheat on your move. And yes, right now, Kathy is counting and she's saying, oh, geez, do you know how many you've done? I'm going to say about, because I want you to do a lot of these with a lighter weight. And like some of you might not even be cleared if you're, in physical therapy for whatever shoulder issue to do weights. You might need to be doing this with no weights. That would be fine, okay? The other thing you need to watch as you're doing this is keep your wrist, what we call neutral, okay? So that means don't bend your wrist up or back, up or down, I'll say. Okay, I'm just do a couple more, all right? Couple. Couple is anywhere from 2 to 20. Sorry. Take a breath right here. See, my butt's super tight. My tummy's tight. Rib cage is up. Shoulders are down. Keep my chin tucked and retracted back. Boom. See that? I don't go fast. And if I can't go more than this in a strong, good stance, then I won't. I'll just come right back. It will get stronger. Breath. Yeah. Breath. Breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. Okay, just 2 more. Here we go. Keep your shoulders down. Hand, elbow, shoulder is in the same plane, basically. Boom. See that? Duh. Right there. Okay, this is the last one. Breath. Right here. Okay. And bring it back. Yay. Take a big breath. We're going to open our hands. So I'm going to reset my weights. Put those down. Open my hands. Open my hands. Close my hands. Open my hands. Close my hands. Yes, I don't have my weight training gloves on. I should have brought my gloves, but I did not. Anyway, so I'm just doing it without gloves today, but I hope you had your gloves on. So while I'm talking about that, just take your hand like this, and I'm just going to pull my heel kind of like I'm going to try to touch my hip, but I'm not, of course. And I'm going to pull back on my hand. See that? Now, in order to do this, you got to drop your shoulders again. Okay, tummy's tight. I'm just going to pull, hold it here, pull. And what you want to do is pull this from this position. And if you will pull, just not, you're not going to hold it. And while you're pulling it, you're pulling your fingers back. Okay, and you'll overbalance sometimes. That's good. I want you to find your balance. Okay, that's part of balance training. So you got to do 1 foot loading task, and you are going to over or under balance. That's part of it. That's why I want you to keep your tummy tight. Because if you keep your tummy tight as you're doing this task, okay, and even this move right here, for somebody with a significant hamstring injury, you might need to make sure your hand is on the wall. Because see, whenever I go into this, I'm using my hamstrings a lot. And it might be too much. So you might want to put your hand on a wall. That's okay. You're still stretching your hand out, which is all I wanted you to do with this. Pull, and then pull. And I'm balancing. I'm doing one-legged standing while I pull my heel to my hip. Pull. And it's a pull. And it's a pull. Okay, this is a very good move to try to get a handle on, because you're doing a lot of balance work. You're doing a lot of hamstring work. And as I first started this, you want to go back. Somebody will say, well, how far do I go back with my foot? And I'm saying, as far as you can. If you can't do anymore, you can't do anymore. But see, if I start here and I go to pull, it's going to be very soon, and I'm going to feel a nice stretch right here. That's all I want you to do. So I'm pulling my hands back, leaning in, putting load, starting back, pull the heel to the hip. Don't do it quickly, because I'll tell you, these hamstrings will ball up on you very quickly. Okay? They are a weaker muscle of the muscles controlling the front and the back of your legs. The hamstrings control the back. And depending on, what you've got going on, they could be pretty weak and they will ball up quickly. So be careful with that. Okay, I've given you a break with your hands because we are gripping our weights, correct? Okay, now I'm going to do some hingy type things. All right, I'm going to do some hingy type things, and I'm going to do some curling, but I'm going to do a 45-degree curl. Okay, this right here, holding your hands like this with your weights, is very different than curling straight on, is very different than just doing a hammer curl. So I'm going to go up and weight. Okay, careful if you have shoulder issues. If you have shoulder issues, you may not want to go up and weight. That'd be fine. Okay, so how do I start this? So I'm going to do my hinge move first, which means that this weight is right here at my shoulder. This weight is right here at my shoulder. I'm going to go out while the weights are touching my shoulder. Then I'm going to move forward. See that with the elbows? So as I go out, my hands stay on top of my elbows, meaning in line with. See, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing this. So when you come in, the elbows come in with the hands. The elbows go out with the hands. Do not flare is the point. And see, I'm encouraging you to go ahead and let your weights rest on your shoulder as you're doing this hinge move. See this? So I have a little weight in my shoulder, but it's not too much. Okay, so even though I went up in my weight configuration, because now I'm at 9 and 9, I'm putting a little of the weight on my shoulder as I do this hinge move. And you'll see this a lot, but I'm telling you, you want to get good weight into your hands. You do not want to damage your shoulder. And it may be too much for you to do this hinge move free, meaning not touching. So let them touch your shoulder. And see, I'm going from a normal neutral stance to putting one foot in front, to bringing it back. So my tummy is super tight. I'm bringing my elbows in with my hands. Then I go open and I'm letting the weight rest on my shoulder as I do this several times. So I want to try to get at least a good set of 10, okay, with shouldering this weight or helping to shoulder the weight. My tummy is super tight as I step in and out. My shoulders are down. My tummy is tight. Okay? Just a couple more and we're there. Hang on. I know. This is a deceiving move. And if you're letting your weights be on your shoulder, you're starting to feel this. Breath. Okay, just two more. All right, I'll just say two more. Here we go. Woo, woo, woo. Here we go. Okay, now bring those weights down. Okay. Hang out. Woo. Big breath. Yes. At this point, with this kind of weight, bring those shoulders up to your ears because that actually releases them. You've been working with them and you've been pushing them down. For some of you who have significant forward head syndrome and significant rounded shoulder, what we just did with me hammering at you to constantly, I'm just swinging my leg back and forth is all I'm doing. Okay, because I want you to concentrate on this weight, tummy tight, pulling those shoulders to the ear. Okay, and I just switch and drop them, and I swing the leg, pull to the ear and back. Keep your knee soft, and then down, pull into the ear. Now, those of you out there that have those kind of issues, rounded shoulder issues, you're trying to re-strengthen, when you do this shrugging and then dropping, okay, this is a big deal. And if you've got 9 pounds or anything, any weight in your hands, okay, this is hard. And what we did before, which was a hinging move with weight, was probably pushing you. Okay, so hang with, you can retrain a forward head, you can retrain rounded shoulders, but it's going to take some work. Okay, I know. Oh my gosh, what a novel thought. You might have to sweat a little. Perish the thought. I'll try to make it as painless as possible. Not. All right. Now go from the shoulder shrugging to now I'm going to be my own chair. If some of you have issues with feet, knees, whatever, and you want to go ahead and sit in a chair, do it. That's perfectly fine. I am being my own chair or my own bench or my own stool. Okay. I have my weights like this. So I'm going to show you 3 different moves. So you have in your upper arm, you have a bicep, which means 2 heads. You have a tricep, which means 3 heads. You got a lot of muscles up there. And every time you change your hand position, you move with different emphasis on those various heads of the muscle body itself. So here's the deal. Keep your elbows in. That's number 1. Shoulders down, number 2. Okay. This is a hammer curl. Okay. Now do that one. See, it's like you're swinging a hammer. Okay. And if every time you want to put it on your thigh, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to make this really push you, push into your heels, bring them off your thigh and go tap, but don't hit your quad. Keep it in the air here. Tap, boom. Ribcage up, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can do this sitting at your little chair, or you can make your own chair, which is what I'm choosing to do. Keep your chin tucked, keep your shoulders down. I'm pushing into my heels. Yeah. Take a breath. Take a breath. So this is just a simple hammer curl. And if you need to put it on your thigh each time, that's fine. If you don't, man, are you going to feel it in your core? Woohoo! Okay. Are you ready? That was a hammer curl. This is the curl that you typically see in clubs. And I'm just going to step forward a little bit, soften my knees, and then look at your wrists. Keep your wrists neutral. Pull that right up to your shoulder. See that? Don't flex at your wrist. Keep it neutral. Keep your chin tucked. And you want to keep a constant pull on that muscle, the bicep. Okay? Take a breath. Then we're going to go from this and we're going to do another position with this very same weight. And it's called the 45-degree curl, which will entail and use muscles up into your upper body, your thoracic region, and around your shoulder blades, believe it or not. Breath. Okay, look at your wrist. Some of you are coming here. You're keeping it out here, but you're getting tired. And you know what you're doing? You're doing that. Keep those wrists neutral. And see, I'm not going super fast here. I'm keeping a nice, moderate rhythm of curling, keeping my elbows in. Do not flare your elbows here. Drop your shoulders, drop your chin. Don't flare those elbows out. Ooh. Breath, breath, and then put them down. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and do a fold. I'm not going to rack my weights because I'm not going to change them. So what's a fold? I'm going to go just like this. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put them right beside my feet. Okay? Now that wasn't a really deep squat fold, but it's a move that is very functional. Okay? So now I'm just doing a shoulder width stance. Okay, don't put your feet together. Shoulder width. Okay, you're going to do a fold. You're going to act like you're going to pick your weights up, but you're not. Okay, I'm going to go back here so you can see my feet. I think you can see them now better. Okay, watch this. Okay, here's a fold. See this? See my back is extended? I'm going to go down as far as I can as if I'm going to pick something up. Then when I come up, I'm pushing through my heels. I'm not picking up the weight. I just want to fold. What people typically do when they're doing this move is right here, they start to flex their back. You know why? Because they don't have enough strength in the legs to go down lower. So they make the back do it. Wrong. Okay? So your shoulder width, you're going to push your butt back, keep your chin tucked, drop your shoulders, get your butt down, but don't put your head down. That's a mistake. Stay into the heels. Don't put your head down. Grab your weights, come up with them. Okay? So I hope you heard me when I said, don't put your head down. That's what I see typically. And people think, oh yeah, I can go down and pick something up. I have no problem doing that. Yeah, because they're using their back. And then they come in complaining of a back problem. Go figure. Okay, so here's my weights. I'm going to put them down. I'm going to keep them down there. I'm going to do 2 folds in between without the weights. Then I'm going to pick them up. Okay? Because I want your mobility here. I want your range. Push the butt back. Go into the heels. Keep your rib cage up. Do not put your head below your butt. Come back up. Boom. That's a fold. Now, my replaced knee, believe it or not, keeps me from bending in further. So I have to be very aware of the muscles that I have to keep working on to keep them strong, because you will have some limitations of movement that you used to be able to do when you have a joint replaced. Okay, so there's a lot of people that come on maybe my channel or pick it up and, oh, that's too easy for me. Try it with replaced joints. Chrissy's out there going, yeah, Judy, you don't. Okay, you ready? Here's the fold. Push the butt back. Rib cage is up. Push into your heels. Go down, 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 down. Keep your butt down. Keep your head level with your shoulders. Your butt should be a little lower than your head. Come back up. Fold. Okay, now I'm going to go down. Grab the weights. All right. In through the nose, out through the mouth this whole time. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Grab them and come back up. By the way, that is how you pick up suitcases without killing your back or your knees. You do a fold, okay? So I really wanted to go over that today. Okay, 45 degree, here we go. Are you ready? So see, I'm not doing a hammer curl. I'm not doing a bicep curl. I'm turning the weights out. See that? I'm gonna pull and tap. I'm gonna pull and tap. I'm gonna do one and then the other. So I have 9 pounds and 9 pounds. You do it with whatever weight you feel you can do it correctly in. Again, I'm my own chair, so my knees are soft. My butt's pushing out a bit. Every time I bring it up, I straighten, I squeeze my butt. Then I go back into that hip hinge. Pull, squeeze your butt. Back down. Pull, squeeze your butt. Back down. Pull, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep that hand at 45 degree out. Keep your elbows in to your waist. Breath. Duh. Breath. Go. Breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. So you're constantly squeezing your gluteals and releasing them. Breath. Keep your shoulders down. Couple more. Breath. Woo. Okay, 2 more. Keep your chin tucked. Okay, 1 more. So you see when I say 1 more, I mean 1 and. I know, you would think, a slug would think, well, you just did 2. And I will say, no, that's sluggy thinking. This is 1, this is and then we go to 2. And let's see, I should have explained that because I know that I tend to, I love slugs. So I have lots of slugs in my class and I know how you count, but not Kathy. Sorry, Kathy. I'm taking your name in vain today. Okay, look at this. Oh my goodness, I'm going to change weights. What am I going to do? I'm going to put my weights back into the holders. I'm going to push my butt back. I'm going to do my fold. See? I'm going to go down, get my butt down. My weight's in my holster, go into the heels and come back up. This is practical application for your whole life. I don't care if you're gardening. I don't care if you're picking up kids. I don't care if you're picking up junk in your house or in your yard or your suitcase carrying. You've got to learn to move properly. This is a fold. See, this is not a fold. That is not a fold. Don't put your head below your butt. All right, the butt goes down. You grab what you need. You come back up. And you see these? See these? I'll guarantee you some of you just did this. You did this. And you grab and you say, oh, I'm doing the fold. No, you're not. Go into your heels. And don't do this. This is what girls do. This is what guys do. Okay? So don't do either. Do it properly. Swing the butt back. Go into your heels. Get your butt down there. Grab what you want to. Come back up. You will feel it here and here and here like you never have. And then you'll get stronger in that move and you'll end up not hurting yourself, which is a good thing. Okay. Now then, I'm going to grab a heavier weight. We're coming down to the close, okay? And some of you, I hope you've stuck with me on this and done these moves. I'm gonna go up in weight. So I'm gonna go up quite a lot, all right? So I was holding 9 and 9. Now I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna hold 15 in one hand and 15 in the other. So when you grab a suitcase, it's typical, or let's say you grab a bag of whatever, groceries, clothes, whatever, okay? Typically, it's going to be at least 15 pounds, all right? So I'm going to go 15 and 15 on both hands. So I'm going to step a little like shoulder width or maybe more. You can step wider, swing your butt back, keep your shoulders down, get your heavier weight, whatever it is. And here is my carry. Now, those of you who came on early and got the beginning of my warm-up, we did a shifting out like that. See that? A shifting out like that. And we did a split stance, like walking. Some of you might say, oh, I can't do a split stance. Well, then you can't walk. Because that's what walking is. Just step out. That's it. Okay. We did a archery move with a band, but I just want you to step out with these heavier weights. So I'm stepping out, trying to maintain with my shoulders, with my spine, with my hips, with my knees, with my ankles, with my feet. I'm maintaining 30 extra pounds that I just picked up. Okay. Now what I want you to do is as you step out, you're just going to pull those elbows back. That's it. And you're going to come back down and you're going to come back in. So I'm finishing with a very move that I used for warming up. Okay. So let me ask you, when you do this move, let me ask you, when you step the foot out, like you're going to take a step, is your tummy tight? Huh? Then you pull in with just your elbows. You don't take that knee out over the toe. You're just acting like you're going to step out, like you're going to take a step to walk, and then you're pulling back with this very heavy weight. So you're having to grip, some of you with hands that really, can be painful sometime. And then what do? Then you quit using them. Then what happens? You get weaker. Then what happens? You have to ask somebody to open that jar. You want them to hand it to you to open that jar. Okay, so I did the step out. I pulled in. Now I'm standing here, and what's your post leg? So I went over this in the warm-up. So only the slugs didn't get this, right? So if you came on early, see, you are a gentle slug. So if you came on late and you didn't get this part, you're a super slug. Sorry. Okay, I'm just being nuts today. Okay, you try wrangling 2 4-year-old twins and a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. Okay, see this? See this? I'm tapping. So what does this mean? My whole spine, my shoulders have to handle this load right here as I step out and tap. See, I'm not shifting. I'm holding firm right here in the post leg. Okay, this is unreal for strength work for your spine because shoulders are down, chin is tucked, you're holding your ground. When you go to step out, you soften your knee, but you keep your butt pushing back. Okay, now just pull those back, put them down, and we're going to see how well you have learned your fold. 15 and 15 and one hand and the other hand. I'm going to go down, put them down, come up. Okay. So what am I going to say to do not do? What am I going to say? Do not take your head down and round your back. No. Get strong enough to push your butt back, keep your chin tucked, fold into your heels, grab, pull, squeeze your butt. Yes, that's a fold. Then when you go to put your weights down, you can do it with strength without hurting your back. And that's always a good thing. Okay, swing your hands. Just walk around, get your breath. I am going to try my best to pull up and quit the recording. There it is.